Welcome to another Ravendawn tips and tricks video installment from your boy Jonah Vale. I've been playing too much, but I promised I was going to put out content, so we're going to do more of that. In this video, I want to talk about reputation and passive skill points. Why do I want to talk about them? Because they're permanent. So we're going to go over my reputation stuff, what I would have done different, as well as my profession things. It's just very important. Do not copy what I did because I messed up. Most people messed up who didn't play the beta. It's all messed up. My character's borked. I have to live with that. I don't want you to live with that. So we're going to look at reputation. What is reputation? How can I get it? As far as I know, there are only two ways to get reputation in Ravendawn, okay? Both of them are from NPCs. The main one is doing quests. When you do a big quest chain, you get like usually 100, 200 rep. Then whenever you talk to NPCs randomly in cities, if they have a talk bubble, you need to talk to them, okay? Make sure you talk to them. When you talk to them, they'll have it'll be like, they'll give you the 3 dialogue options, right? Let me see if there's any, because I haven't really, I haven't done it enough, right? So here, maybe I can show you in live. Bye. What an asshole, dude. Let me go up. Can I talk to anyone?
I did what I could, but it can't, well, if you...
No. Anyway, whenever you go to a new area,
that's so.
Make sure, I probably already talked to all these people. Make sure you talk to everyone in a city, okay? They'll give you 3 reputation options. Doesn't matter which you pick, as far as we know. It doesn't matter which you pick. You'll get 10 rep.
I came to ask
whenever
Captain
you talk
Theobald
to
that's
them.
Possible. The humble fisherman is a...
Now, based on the choices you pick, if you hover over this, it's going to show you where you've picked, like cutthroat or, you know, I think it's like, what do they call the yellow one? It's like the righteous choice, and then green is like the mercenary take money route. Now, previously in Ravendawn, there was a huge reputation thing with a skill tree. So if you look up info on Ravendawn's reputation system, you might be met with their old reputation system, which, as far as we know, doesn't matter anymore. So ignore that. I don't think there's any skill trees. They're still tracking which options we pick. So maybe there's something in the game where you need X amount of a certain reputation choice to unlock an area. I don't know. But after I realized this, I just started only picking one way because maybe I unlocked something. Maybe you guys figure that out. Let me know in the comments if you unlock anything special with it. As far as we know, doesn't matter, except when you're doing a quest, the options you pick are going to determine certain different loot you get, different trinkets and stuff like that. So make sure when you were doing the quest, you are reading, because you could get, like in the Minotaur quest, you could get the Daedalus hammer, you could get a golden fleece, or you get this other stupid wine jug that you don't want. So don't just spam click through these quests. I know they're not all voice acted, but take your time with them, because these choices are permanent and no one's going to give you back any of those quest items that you didn't pick, okay? So looking at reputation, how does it work? After you earn reputation points from talking to NPCs or quests, you get to allocate permanent buffs to your character, or, you know, your ship or whatever, in the reputation bar. The way it works is you have to get 1 in the previous tier to unlock the next tier. And if you wanted to get 2 in the next tier, you have to do 2 in the previous tier. So look right here, right? I have 4 in the first tier. I'm an idiot. Don't do that. And then we have 1 in tier 2. I put 1 in tier 3, and then I have 1 in tier 4. But you can see it's locked right here. I can't put any more in T3 because I would need to put 1 in a tier 2. And then I could, like, you have to scale it down basically, right? So it's a big commitment, a lot of points. I was told apparently we can unlock this entire board. That's crazy to me because that's a lot of quests and NPCs, but apparently that's possible per the CEO of the game. That's nuts. But I just want you to be very conscious of your choices here, and I want you to think about the way you like to play the game. Whenever someone comes to my chat and they ask me about reputation or profession or anything like that, profession's a little more straightforward, but with reputation, I want you to think about, how do you enjoy playing the game? Now, if you don't know how you enjoy playing the game, that's fine. Pick 2% experience from creatures. Everyone's going to kill mobs. That's pretty much a win-win. Now, I also think item drop rate is really good because this affects the rare crafting drops. And then the gathering rare proc is really good because if you're doing fishing, it affects treasure chests. If you're doing wood cutting, it's dense logs, and so on and so forth, mining, gems, all that stuff. So I think a lot of things in tier 1 are very good. Late game, I would assume Amulet Mastery is like the end all be all, because at end game, our jewelry is going to be very strong. Right now, it's not that strong, so buffing it is kind of pointless. Now, looking at the second tier, it's like, okay, this is a little more how do you enjoy playing the game? For me, I like doing the boat stuff. I have a galleon, so I put ship speed. Now, maybe you like doing trade packs on land, caravaneer. Maybe you are a Moa breeder, Rider's Bond. There's going to be alchemy. This will probably be a lot better with different consumables. If you do a lot of ranger board, there's one for that. If you're a crafter, artisan's touch is really good. So I want you to kind of, before you start diving into the second choice, I want you to think about what you enjoy in the game and how you want to play the game you see going forward. What I will say is there's some standout perks that I want to talk about. In the tier 3 reputation, we have pretty much all garbage here. I just went for the value creature products for flat silver. Now, Sea Trader is one of the best choices if you're going to be doing trade packs at sea. This kind of gives you an advantage over other people that don't pick this. If you're pirating, maybe the reload, I could see some options there. Moa cooldown abilities might be good if you have a really good Moa. If you're a fisherman, there's a fisherman one, and then bounty barks again for the ranger board. Again, how do you want to play the game? The main perk I want to talk about is diplomatic exaltation. When everyone gets to T4, I want you to look at this perk and I want you to decide if this is something you want, because I want you to think about it. Basically, there are multiple mines in the game that we can go to acquire resources. In any of those dwarven, elven, or goblin mines, this perk will cause the mobs to not aggress on you. Why is that a big deal? Because if anyone shows up in that mine and they want to PvP you and they don't have that perk, you have a clear advantage because all the mobs go on them. All right. So it's kind of like if you want to mine there, you need this perk type deal, right? Now, I was told there's a couple dwarven areas where the perk doesn't work, but I think they're like some weird vampire dwarves or something. I don't know. I haven't got there yet. Apparently the perk does work in higher level zones. The issue is like if I'm in, say I'm in like a level 50 dwarven mine and I'm level 35, the way this perk works is as soon as you hit the node, everything aggroes you. So if you're lower level compared to a higher level dwarf mine and you go to hit a node, there's gonna be like 10 mobs swarming you. You're gonna get blasted, right? So in any case, it's really good when you're around the level. You can just pull the mobs in the area, AoE them, mine the node. I definitely recommend this perk if you're doing mining. Mining's really good money. Highly consider this perk. The other standout from here would probably be weapon mastery. Late game, this is going to be giving us a lot of extra stats. The other ones, carrying trade pack on foot, dismount stuff, a shield on your boat, all those are kind of bad. Then we get down to the tier 5, which is just a duplicate of tier 1. So basically this is a juiced line. 7% gathering drop rate, 7% increased silver, 7% increased item drop rate on mobs, 4% extra experience, extra stats on rings and amulets. Like those are all really good choices. 10% on your Moa is insane. All really good. Down here's obviously a ways away for us. But this is again a duplicate of the tier 2. And then they go to the last one, which is a duplicate of tier 3. So we already explained those. Pretty much exactly what I said. Those are the choices you should make. Figure out how you want to play the game and make those choices. Regarding profession points, again, these are permanent. I have a little bit of a train of thought around how this works. If you're doing a crafting, I would always max the labor first, right? So if we look at my carpentry, which is my highest, we go to passive skills, labor maxed, right? Why are we maxing the labor? Because as I talked about previously in my crafting video, labor is the fuel to do all actions with the craft. So why does the experience or the quality of the craft matter if I didn't have enough labor to finish it? So max out your labor first in every craft. People can argue with me on that. That's fine. I don't really care. This is the safest route. Max your labor first. Then after that, I'm going to be maxing touch on mine. I don't know if that's what you should do, but that's what I did. And also, whenever you go down these passive trees, you need to go down the entire tree to pick any of these second options. Now, this one unlocked at 25 or 30, I believe. And then I'll have to unlock maybe another one or hit 50 to get to this. But you have to go all the way down one tree, I know for certain, to pick any of these options. And as we said prior in the crafting video, these actually transfer onto other crafts. You just have to hit the same respective level in those other crafts. So ideally, if we're looking at a maxed one, I don't know how far we can get in these, but we're going to do labor, touch, and then maybe synth. We'll see how the experience is. This is an extra 20% experience. That's a pretty big deal, but I get a lot of experience from crafting. As you can see, it goes much farther than the other stuff. The only thing that's comparable is my wood cutting, and that's because I'm hitting trees nonstop at my house. Let's look at gathering. Gathering, I think you should either do experience or double material. If you really want to go for the lottery, you could go down dense log on here if you want, but I went all the way experience. I hit the dense log perk. Now I'm going to go all the way down double materials, and then I'm going to go all the way down dense log. Mining, pretty much the same story here. I went all the way down experience. I did the swift quarrying node. This is really good for PvP and just mining in general. Then I'm going to go down double materials, and then depending on where gems are at, I'll do gems or mining speed. I'm not sure. But pretty much it's the same for all the gathering to start. I obviously changed my mind multiple times on this. This one I just went double materials, but we're going to go all the way down and don't split. See how I did this? I'm like, I'll do experience and then I'll do, don't do this. Just go all the way down. Even if it's the wrong choice, doesn't matter. Just go all the way down and finish it. Okay. They could balance these at a later time. You know, who knows? Again, see, all the way down. Now, fishing, I absolutely butchered. But fishing, I think, is a little bit of its own thing with the gathering. On fishing, I would do all damage. If I could take this back, I would hit the fortune fisher, and then I would do all weight, and then I would do all experience. I wouldn't put any in here because you could just keep recasting right now. So the initial cast on the fishing, kind of pointless. Wish I could take that back, but obviously I can't. And that's pretty much the profession, gathering and crafting points as it is now. I haven't done any MOA breeding, so this might be totally different. I'll do a separate video on that if I ever do get into MOA breeding. But that's the only one I haven't touched. It's the only one I have no experience on, so it's the only one I don't really want to talk about. But again, everything in this video is liable to change. They could, you know, give us a reset, anything like that. But as it is now, that is pretty straightforward what the system is. Cut.